The clarity of this UFO sighting is unlike anything ever seen before. None compare to the sharpness and detail. Rarely has someone managed to film one at this distance. Caught in the day, with a decent camera and a witness with a steady hand, the perfect recipe for a great sighting. But was all as it seemed? This is the story of the San Diego Sphere and the hunt to discover what it could have been. Ricky Barra isn't your average UFO witness. He's not just some random bystander with a phone and a story. He's a retired Department of Defense employee, the kind of person you'd expect to keep things grounded in reality, which is what makes what happened next so compelling. Because when Rick looked up on that warm California evening, he saw something that reality might not have an answer for. September 8th, 2014. Ricky Barra pulls into his driveway after a short drive through San Diego. After stepping out of his car, he notices something. Around 300 feet in the sky was a spherical object with a reflective metallic surface and antenna-like appendages attached to the top and sides. After standing there in amazement for a few seconds, Rick ran inside, grabbed his camera, and began filming. Amid the adrenaline, he even managed to snap a few photos. Little did he know, this recording would become some of the clearest footage of a UFO ever caught. It was suspended in total silence, with no engine noises, no flutter, no hum, just stillness. He estimated the object to be around 6 feet in diameter. To give you a sense of scale, here's what that would look like next to a human. If his estimates are accurate, the object was quite significant in size. Think of the giant hamster ball things people climb inside to roll around on water. That's approximately how big this object was. After around 10 minutes of filming, the object had drifted too far out of view, and the night had made it too difficult to capture on film. Soon after, Rick released the footage onto the web. The sighting quickly went viral in the UFO community, with it being the top trending sighting on the biggest forums at the time. For years since, the footage has been debated, analyzed, and speculated upon. From secret government tech to alien craft and even weather balloons, theories have flown in every direction, with countless viewers offering their own thoughts on what the object might be. Looks like a Lockheed man-made sphere, developed from a reverse-engineered orb, and with about 2% of its functionality. Look at the edges of the thing. There's a ton of artifacts from CGI. It is a US military drone, powered wirelessly, either from a ground station or via orbit. It is mainly used for surveillance. As simple as this sounds, there is a wire coil inside which wraps along the outer shell and produces a frequency that essentially causes it to defy gravity. Adjusting this causes it to fall in whatever direction they want. They have had these things for many decades. All intriguing theories, but ultimately, they remained just that, theories. What happened next, however, would prove to be a major help in uncovering what this object might actually be. It turns out the footage Rick first uploaded had been compressed to such a degree that the quality had been pretty much halved. Key details were lost in the pixelation, hidden beneath a hazy blur. But in September of 2020, a YouTube channel by the name of It's Redacted reached out to Rick and obtained something extraordinary, the original 720p high-definition version. They promptly re-uploaded it, this time without the heavy compression. The difference was undeniable. The footage showed so much more than the original. What was only just unpixelated enough to make out before now became easily identifiable. Everything that could be seen on the photos was now visible on film. The different shades on the surface, the prongs sticking from the top and bottom, and even the thin openings around the center. For many, the balloon theory became less likely after seeing the full resolution images, and thanks to the release of the metadata, it was almost certainly not CGI. For those who don't know, metadata is the hidden data embedded in image or video files. It includes details like when and where the footage was captured, what device was used, and whether it has been altered or edited. In this case, the metadata showed no signs of digital manipulation, significantly boosting the credibility of the sighting. So with those two theories put to one side, there was only one left: a craft. A short drive from where Rick filmed the object was San Diego's Marine Corps Air Station. This led to speculation that the object may have been part of a classified project, or possibly a new drone being tested in nearby restricted airspace. Due to its size, around 6 feet in diameter, it's highly unlikely the object could be manned. There just wouldn't be enough space inside to house a pilot. So if it did come from the airbase, it would have almost certainly been a drone. But of course, there's one other possibility, the one that's always the first thought that runs through our heads whenever a UFO is sighted. What if it wasn't ours at all? To some, the object fit the bill of what they imagine when alien technology is thought of. To others, the quote, 1970s-style tin bucket-like craftsmanship of the object made the idea of it being extraterrestrial in origin unlikely, with some stating, "For what apparently is an advanced alien craft, it looks like a pile of crap." I don't know anything about this case, but that's definitely man-made. Looks man-made and like from the 50s or 60s. Too crude to be alien, must be man-made. But who said aliens aren't crude? While strange, they argued that there's nothing in its movement or design that truly defies our current understanding of physics or engineering. Nothing that suggests the object came from light years away. No impossible maneuvers, no vanishing into thin air, no erratic flight patterns, just a calm, steady drift. The absence of truly unexplainable features makes it far more likely that this was something terrestrial, albeit still unidentified. After the upload, it didn't take long for UFO enthusiasts to get to work on analyzing the footage. One of the most common and useful techniques in analyzing UFO footage is stabilization, a process that locks the camera's perspective to the background or the subject in order to make it easier to study. And that's exactly what people did. Once stabilized, the object's movement became more noticeable, and for some, that was enough to bring the balloon theory right back to the forefront. It's difficult to deny that this new perspective isn't reminiscent of something floating rather than flying. You can see it appear to drift with more of a bobbing motion, almost like it's tethered from beneath and reacting to subtle shifts in air pressure. What once seemed like a potential technological marvel, or perhaps even something extraterrestrial, gradually began to resemble something far more ordinary. But if it was a balloon, who was responsible for putting it up there? And more importantly, why? Was it a bored prankster hoping to fool a few neighbors? Or could it have been an elaborate attempt to bait a local news station into covering the sighting, turning a small trick into a viral media moment? So far, the only pieces of information that hint at this being a possible hoax come from two separate online comments. These are unverified claims with no supporting evidence, and they should absolutely be taken with a massive grain of salt. Still, the details shared in those comments are oddly specific and just believable enough to make you wonder. They stated, "I live in San Diego, and remember when this happened, it was all over the local news. There was a guy in Cardiff or Carlsbad Beach area that fought with his neighbors about property rights or something like that. So he started flying balloons above his house just to show them they didn't own the sky above him. He would change the balloons every week to look like different things. This one was his UFO balloon. I've tried to find the articles about him online, but I can't." It's an intriguing claim, but it received a fair bit of pushback, and the commenter was never able to provide any evidence. If it were truly a setup, the person you'd most expect to be aware of it would be Rick, but he's never mentioned it, even when given an opportunity to in a recent interview. It's an interesting possibility for sure, but most likely not true. I also considered questioning Rick's motives in all this, but I really don't think we need to. His authentic reaction and his transparency regarding everything speaks for itself. I think it's clear to see that he was just an innocent witness in all of this. While the San Diego Sphere now seems more likely to have a grounded explanation, it still holds a special place in modern UFO lore. It reminded us how powerful a single, well-documented sighting can be. Rick's footage gave a rare and exciting puzzle to unravel. Even if the mystery has faded, the excitement it generated was real. And while the object itself may not have been extraordinary, the moment it created certainly was. So what do you think the object was? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video and would like to see more like it, please consider supporting my work on Patreon. I share monthly exclusive content there, including extended versions of the videos from the main channel. Lately, I've been sharing detailed UFO encounters posted by real witnesses. They're a great listen, and quite a few of you seem to really like them. You'll also get access to a growing archive of classic UFO compilations and plenty of other perks. Your support means a lot and helps keep this all going.